Hey everybody, this is Miss Ladd, and I'm gonna show you right quick how to do the rule of thirds composition and clipping paths project. So first we're just gonna open a new file, and instead of inches we want to be pixels. And the values that I want for you guys to enter here, so for the width is 1920, and the height will be 1080, and our resolution will be 72. This will be RGB, and everything else is all fine. So let's go ahead and hit create. So here is my canvas of the right size and the right resolution and the right color mode. Okay, what I want for you to do is to go to the document that I included with the assignment and pick one of these photos. There's like a bunch of them. So you can like just kind of scroll over them and it'll show you like a little preview. You know, I think I'll do this. So let's just go ahead and I'll click on this guy. And so here you can see I have this lovely image. Really cool. I'm just going to go ahead and in Pixabay, I will go ahead and download this 1920 by 1280 item. I go back to Photoshop and I just go File, Place Embedded. Let's go ahead and hit Place. So this is my image as it is so far. I'm going to leave it like that right now. And what I want to do is I want to implement the rule of thirds. If I go up to the ruler here, if you don't have a ruler, if you hit Command R, that will give you your ruler. I'm going to change it from inches to pixels. And so, you know, my image size, if I remember correctly, image is, if I ever want to know what it is, I can just go to image and then image size. It'll tell me, not inches, pixels. Right? Actually, it says so right here, 1920 by 1080. So I want to take 1920 and divide it by 3 so I can find out where my guide should be. So let's do that right quick. Beautiful thing about like Chrome, I think Safari does this also. If I just take 1920 and divide it by 3, I get 640. I want to create a new guide at 640. So I believe I can just go up to, where is it? Is it View? Guides. And say New Guide. And I can say I want a vertical guide and I want it at exactly 640 pixels. And now I have a guide at 640 pixels. If I want to do like my second thirds, then I can take 640, multiply that by 2, and I get 1280. So again, I can just go right up to View, Guides, New Guide, and this one I want at 1280. To 80. So here's my rule of thirds, at least vertically. I'm going to do the same and have a horizontal guide. So again, image size. And our image size is 1080, so we can take 1080 and divide that by 3, and that's 360. So again, I'm just going to go right back up here to View, Guides, New Guide, and type 360. And I don't want it to be vertical, I want it to be horizontal. Hit OK. And then 360 times 2 is 720. So let's do that again. Go to View, Guides, New Guide, and it's going to be 720. So now you can see how our image is split up into 9 pieces. Here's our rule of thirds. We want to have focal points in like this area, this area, this area, or this area to create interest. And that might not be like terribly easy to do. Maybe we want to go ahead and pull this over a bit so we can maybe create a piece of interest here at this spot. I'll just make the image a little bit bigger because what we're focused on is the rule of thirds in our canvas, right? So we can do that. So the edge of our cliff is like right at that spot. And that should like create a sense of dynamic tension there. It's going to be like naturally our eye will like be led in by this line here and it'll wind up right here. And then our eye is kind of free to roam. So we may want to put something additional of interest here. Okay, now that we have our guides, let's start the second half of this where we use a clipping mask and do something interesting. Start here. So I've got my rule of thirds laid out for me, and I'm going to type Misty Morning, M-O-R-N-I-N-G. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Right? And I'm going to probably just like hang it out directly on this line to just kind of create some sense of tension and interest. If I want to, I can even kind of pull it over a little bit. All right. So now that I've got that, I'm going to use this background layer and use it specifically to be the image for my clipping mask. So if I hit Command J, I get an extra layer. I'm going to go ahead and just click and drag that above my text. So now the text is hidden. If I hit the Option key and I hover right here between these two layers, you can see I've got the got this little square and I'm just going to click it. And so now, right, you can't see any difference because these images are directly on top of each other. If I were to hide the background, you would then see that this Misty Morning is, you know, this image on top of Misty Morning is cut out by the text. Okay? So that's what I wanted you to see there. Take this initial top image and I just make it a little bit smaller, right? We can see how Misty Morning shows up a little differently. Right? We could even, if we wanted to, make it bigger instead. So Command Z. And so that way we can maybe put that sky into this, where it says Misty Morning. So we'll make it a little bit bigger so we don't have to deal with the rocks. So here's that. Right, and then that way we know that it kind of matches the whole thing. So here's Misty Morning. It matches the sky because it comes from the sky, right? And then we can just, on our layers here, we can just make another layer effect. We can take, like, just put a stroke over it. 7, let's make it 8 pixels. Just to be even. Say okay. And we can change that color if we wanted to, but no need. What I'm going to do here now is instead of using the opacity on the whole layer, because I don't want to hide this stroke, I don't want it to fade out, but I do want the fill of the letters to fade out. So see where it says fill? If I do that, you can see like it becomes a little more transparent, right? We can even change like the blend mode on the layer overall. Play around with things, see if we like anything that's interesting or different. Hard light, hard mix. I think we'll just leave it at normal. I don't really like anything else. Just leave it at normal. And I mean, that's really all you need is some kind of a clipping mask on top of your text. And your background needs to be, some kind of an image. It can't be white or, just kind of plain. So I'm going to actually take this moment to move those guys over. If I really wanted to, I could group them, Command G to group them, see how now they're a group. If I want to move the entire group, see where it says auto select group. If I just then take this and then move it, it'll automatically kind of move together. I kind of, maybe right below. I don't want it to be center because that's not the point here. The point here is to use the rule of thirds to make something interesting. So I think I'll do that right there. Okay. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. And I'll see you in class. Happy rendering, everyone.